Good afternoon, and welcome at GSD Idea webinar related to new version of Idea StatiCa 25. We will be focusing today on the new versions that are resonating, that should be most important to the Middle East, Africa, and Gulf countries region. My name is Jan. I work as a managing director at GSD Idea, and today, and as always, I have my trusty team of great engineers. We have Rose. Hi, Rose. How are you?
Hello, Jan. I'm good. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon. And we have also Venkatesh Avanidi. Hi, Venki.
Hello, Jan. Hello, all.
Wonderful.
So just to let you know about the GoToWebinar panel, you're automatically muted, but we would be definitely having a question and answer session at the end. If you've got time, then yes, all your questions would be answered. And but still, if you have questions, please do drop them so that we can reach back to you on email. And the agenda of the session, yes, as you all know, we are here to speak about the updates of Idea StatiCa 25.0. We'll be starting with the introduction. We'll carry on with the steel updates, concrete, BIM updates, which would be of prime importance. Then there is cloud, and yes, as I've already mentioned, the question and answer session. Yeah, before we dive in, let me just start with the steel section, which is steel 25.2. I am taking the presenter from Jan. Just give me a minute. Venki, can you please confirm if my screen is visible to you?
Yes, Rose, I can see the screen.
Thank you so much for the confirmation. So starting with the steel updates, we have the major steel update here. That is the new connection wizard. You might have already know about it if you're using 25.0. There is the new launched connection wizard wherein you have 3 different sets. You can define the geometry, then there would be the design, and then the properties. So all you have to do is just set out the required geometry, select the template, and then check the preview and start the template. Now, not just that, we have 200 plus parametric templates in predefined set, which are completely with validations and proper settings for easy and safe use. I have to show you a demo on this. Then this is how exactly the new wizard looks. You can select the geometry. We have a set of all geometries wherein you have drop down, wherein with the orientation of each node, you have different connections. And under each connections, you have both shear moment connections on the design set. And not just that, you can orient it and view it before you start the connection procedure. You can even select the bearing member, the type with which you want the bearing member to be, and then you can select the custom design that you have selected from the template. And coming to the additional connection design setting, the wizard setting, we have for the timber and seismic design according to the country code that which you're selecting. Now all geometries with all templates from the connection library which you have saved as a personal or a company connection design set is now available in the connection wizard. And the best part is that you can filter it by set, you can filter it by cross section, you can even search for the operations in the search box. This is how exactly a demonstration for that would be. So under timber we have these many additions, and under seismics you can select the code and then a predefined seismic template would be visible to you. And then there's a new addition of all geometry wherein you have the complete connection design set, which you have saved as a personal or as a company design set. And as I've already mentioned, you can select the bearing member before you start the connection design procedure. You can even search for the operation with which you want to connect the connection components. And once you've selected it, then there is your connection in front of you. Now, coming to the parametric one, you might be already using the parametric templates. There are 200 plus templates addition to this. Now, inside these parametric templates, you can define sets of parameters. Now, you don't need to manually change the operations one by one. You can just change from the defined parameters. Now, we can also set the limits or validations to the parameters, which I personally feel is the highlight of the update, and which will let you set the upper bound and lower bound of the parameter. So you as a senior designer doesn't have to scrutinize all the connections setting for looking for the boundaries. You can just pass it on. You can set the parameter. You can pass the connection on to your junior designer, and he has a upper and lower bound to keep, so that it ensures that the input that the junior designer is inputting is a reasonable value. And now, if you don't want to go with the new way, that is, if you don't want to go with the parametric way and you want to stick with the old way of doing it, you have an option to explode the parametric operation and then work in the normal way. And a demo for this would be here. Here I've started a parametric connection template. I have defined the plate thickness, but my senior engineer had already set an upper and a lower bound. So I know that I do not have to move up that or down that. It would be in a conservative manner. And then so it goes for the plates, for the bowls, even for the rows of the bowls, the edge and pitch distances of the bowls. Now again, if you want to change the stiffener operation a bit and that happen to be in a parametric template, you want to explode it, you have that option to explode and then do the further edit to that specific operation. Now, I would also like to bring your attention to the collaboration of parametric plus the normal templates. Now, I have here a connection which I am connecting via a parametric template, a predefined parametric template, but I have another member in the same connection which I wish to connect in a normal operation, which is now possible. That was not possible in the earlier versions, but in StatiCa 25.0, we get to blend the parametric with the normal operations. And the best part is that you can edit those operations even without moving or exploding the normal parametric template. Now, the next big update is that the cross sections, you can save it in MPRL and use across your projects. Now, as you know, in the earlier versions, we had the materials that can be saved to MPRL, but for the 25 update, we can save the user-defined cross sections as well. Not just that, use it across the projects, and we can always edit that in the MPRL app. All you have to do is to just under materials, select cross section, select the cross section which you want to edit or to save. I've taken the call form section. I'm adjusting the geometry of the section, pressing it on OK so that I can get it under the cross section. I'm saving it to the MPRL with my name and the table. Where to get it from? Back to cross section. Click on the cross section, and under call formed with all favorites, we have a new widget, which is the custom widget, where from we can take all the custom cross sections. So it goes for the I section as well. I can custom one section and then take out that section afterwards. Now I can click on the MPRL to edit the sections or to delete the existing sections as well. The next update, or this is possibly the most requested update that we have got so far, about the slotted bolt holes. You have it now in V25.2. You can choose which plate to apply the slotted bolt holes on. That is one update. On top of that, you can apply it on more than one plate. Earlier, it was restricted to one plate, and the designer doesn't get to choose which plate he wants to input the slot too. But now with the slotted holes, we can put in even in an analyzed member, not just on the plates, not just on the operation, but even on the member. Now a short demo on that. I have a connection here wherein I have a fin plate operation. I need to provide a slotted bolt hole on both side of the fin plate. I'm doing it via the editor. I'm providing the L by D ratio of the hole. I'm applying it, and then back to my connection wizard, I can see that slots have been already applied to more than one plate, and you can see the analyzed result with the equivalent stresses on the curves of the slot. As simple as how it looks. And we have the load effects now in the scene in results. So with the improvement of V25 compared to V24, earlier the option was provided by combo in the ribbon, and that was hidden from the user's eyes. But right now, after the analysis mode, you can just click on the load effect which you want to see the stress or the particular strain, and then that would be available. Not just the maximum or the envelope of the loads, but just you name the load effect which you want to see, then you have it in your desktop. Better report readability, improved quality of images, writings, and even the labels. Now, if you're exporting the connection as a PDF, the title would be according to the project name. Some regional improvements to mention. One is that the PJP wells are now available for the Eurocode. It is already available for the AIC, but we do have it now for the Eurocode as well. Now coming to the American code, ACI 31819, a new addition is added to the connection compartment. Now regarding the summary, and just to share why these parts of the updates are so impactful, we have Jan back in here. Jan, could you please
Yes.
walk us through?
Nice summary, Rose. Like it. I especially appreciate how idea StatiCa invested into the parametric templates, because if you as an engineer in 2025 still use spreadsheets, still design Excel spreadsheets when you need to calculate connections, you're really missing out. You nicely show how it can be done nicely and fast with using parametric templates. If you're afraid that your design might be taken from a creative end from your junior engineers, thanks to the validations, you can really limit that to be absolutely sure that the design is not going to get creative, and include it into the whole connection and even structural workflow, because in the end, it's not the standalone application, standalone tasks. There are data in the input, data on the output, and it all can be streamlined with idea StatiCa. So really, structural engineers should not use spreadsheets in 2025. Idea StatiCa is much better suited for that. And then you mentioned some features that will enable engineers to design exactly what they need and save bits of time here, bits of time there. For example, with the MPRL, like it as well. Okay, Rose, thanks a lot. I think that you will be continuing with the concrete, correct?
Yes, yes. So let us skip to the next big topic, which is 25.0 concrete. With no much delay, I'm going on to the 2D detail 25.0. Big news for the precasters. Detail for ACI code also supports the design of pre-stressed elements now, including the precast beams, deep beams, and girders. Now designers can input both pre and post tension tendons. This improvement also has a database of pre-stressing steel, so you need not worry about the database. And the best part is that now you can also input the partially loaded area, and all required ACI standard checks, including the stress limitation and decompression check, would be definitely carried out. And a bit regarding the template, update of a template, both for ACI, we have new updates for the ACI templates in 2D detail, and so it goes for the Australian standards as well. And then we have a new link again for the precasters between IdeaStatica Beam application and the detail. So in IdeaStatica Beam, users can solve the complex pre-stressing beam task, including the time-dependent analysis (TDA) and also the lateral torsional buckling (LTB). Now they can do these analysis in the Beam application and import it to IdeaStatica Detail 2D, where they can account for the discontinuity regions, such as openings, daptins, without the need to remodel the beam again or to reload the beam from scratch. Let's see how it works. And before that, I have another update as well, just for the LTB. In the last version, as you might have already known, the second order effects that had to be manually added to the Beam application. But now the results from GMNA are exported automatically to the RCS. So increases, or sorry, decreases the time of the designer. And demo for that, I have a pre-stressed roof girder here. I've already designed the beam. Now I want CSFM for thorough check of the structure. Now I select the whole beam with the reinforcement. I am selecting the entire beam and I'm selecting the reinforcement as well. And I'm also all combinations and load cases. And now the structure is being imported to IdeaStatica Detail. It should open now. And we have the 2D detail in here. We see the same beam with the same reinforcement. If you can see, it would be the same reinforcement, including the same tendons. I can check the structure in 3D to check the position of the tendons, reinforcement, etc. And I can also see the stresses in the reinforcement and tendons, also imported from the beam application. You can see that the pre-stressing tendons are imported considering the debonding length. So you no longer has to specify the debonding length to the user. And with that, I am concluding my 2D detail improvements. Now I have Vinky in here who would give you a detailed description of what's happening in 3D, BIM, and etc. Over to you, Vinky.
Thank you, Rose. Thank you, Rose and Jan, for briefing out on the features about steel and 2D detail. Now let me share my screen. Rose, can you please confirm that my screen is visible? Yep, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Yes, now let's dive into some of the exciting new features in 3D detail application. So if you're performing any pedestal design or footing design or any steel to concrete connection design like embedment plates or base plates to check and size your reinforcement and to check for the concrete, well, this is a very great news for you. The ACI codes were fully integrated into the detail 3D application. So now you can perform your reinforcement checks to size the reinforcement and also the concrete checks with against ACI codes. And in this updated version, the terminology and all the empirical equations which were used in the ACI have been reflected. And additionally, the ACI data like database related to the concrete grades and also the rebar grades, like for example, ASTM A955, all are integrated to the detailed 3D application, and you can use it in the StatiCa database without worrying about and creating new grades. However, uh, StatiCa database covers all these database. However, if you want a custom material, you can always define your own rebar grade to use it as per the project needs. So if using the AISC application, now you can transfer the data into the detail 3D, in which you can check all your reinforcement details as well as the concrete checks using ACI. So basically what data can be exported is the information about the base plates and information about loading, information about the anchors, and also the concrete block. However, as of now, standoff anchors and motor layers are not supported for the export. So if you're working with the plain old cubical concrete block, uh, exciting news for you. In version 25, you can customize your concrete block as per the requirement, as per your requirement, or as per your project needs. Uh, so I want to highlight two examples. The first one, you can see a typical anchoring, most commonly may be used for corner footing areas where the concrete block was cut with the new feature, which I will be demonstrating sooner. And the reinforcement was shaped in the shape of the concrete block, and also you can see the stress counters for the same shape. And second one was a footing with pad, in which basically used for the column footing or pedestal. And on the right side, you can see the reinforcement placed in the same shape as an concrete block, and also you can see the stress counters for the same. So I was talking about the new features apart from the integration of the ACI codes. Let's see the new features. So the first one was the Boolean cut operation with Boolean cutting plane. Sorry. So by using the cutting plane, if you are working with the connection application already, so I believe this operation was familiar to you, in which you can define a plane anywhere in the plane, or you can customize it to choose on which plane you can put the cutting plane or rotated ones, and you can cut the object with reference to the cutting plane, so that you can keep the object whichever you choose to. And this, yeah, so we can use the cut operation and we can choose whether to leave that area, and we can do this operation accordingly. And the next feature is a negative volume, in which this is also similar to what was available in the connection application. You can model the negative volume and change the width, depth, and height of the negative volume as per your requirement. And you can offset the negative volume to wherever you want to cut the concrete block, and you can cut the concrete block with reference to the negative volume to arrive at your desired arrangement. So here we can see, instead of a plain old concrete block, I can cut it into a step block. So you can work on this operation. You can use these features, new features, to customize your concrete block. And the last one was the cut operation. Generally, there is a requirement to model two concrete blocks when we have to provide the anchors in multiple planes. So because we can't model two groups of anchors into the same concrete block, so we can use this cut operation to merge the concrete blocks so that they act as a single object. As you can see, the operations go to the cut and cut one concrete block with reference to the other concrete block. That's it. And let's see a small demo on featuring all these new features and the new UI. So the detail, once you click the detail, this is the basic UI in which the 3D detail, you can go to the 3D detail and select the design code. ACI is available and you can choose all the initial settings like grade of concrete, reinforcement, and create the project. And you can customize all the base plate thickness, anchors, cast in anchors or adhesive anchors. And you can see that in the code settings, all the equations with reference to the ACI have been listed chapter wise. You can check all the partial safety factors which will be matching with the codes. And also you can add new load cases and the load combinations for strength and also serviceability. And you can check your calculation and you can get your results. In the check tab, you can see the stress flow and stresses of concrete. And also you can see the stresses of the reinforcement. In addition to that, you can study the behavior of concrete block with deformation. And once you go to the report, you can customize it, pretty flexible. So all the inputs, all the details about stresses, strains, deformations, and bill of materials explanations will be there. The other method to do it is to export from the steel connection application, where you will check whether the failure because of the concrete. If it is, then we can export concrete information from steel application to 3D detail application, where you will see the base plate, anchors, and the concrete block which are modeled in the connection app transferred into the 3D detail application. So we can use these new features which I talked about, which is negative volume, to customize that cubical concrete block into the existing shape of your concrete block, which in your project. And it is very quick, and you can add the reinforcement and check it again to study the behavior and check how stresses are flowing in the concrete, and you can see the stresses in the concrete and also stress in the reinforcement. Going to the anchorage, you can see the anchors details as well. And finally, the report, which consists of all the information about inputs and the heat maps and also the outputs. You can customize it again as per your requirement. And so, which were pretty interesting features. And apart from that, if you're working in a composite structure like steel beams connecting to the concrete, here not encased steel members, but general steel to concrete connections, where your steel beam is connected to concrete wall through a cast-in plate. And if you are using manual calculations to calculate the cast-in plate and also the concrete behind it, then good news for you, you can calculate the cast-in plates as well as the check for the reinforcement and also the concrete block with StatiCa version 25. So it is available now, and you can perform your analysis. And the type of rebars which can be used are the straight, L-shaped, and U-shaped. And however, headed studs are not supported yet. Maybe will be available in the near future. And some of the typical applications are listed below. However, if you're working in any kind of composite structures, you will come across the cast-in plates, and you can design it very easily with StatiCa 25 instead of changing all the information in your manual templates. So one more minor improvement was StatiCa now issues a warning if any reinforcement bar passes through a support that's defined as compression only. So why this matters? A compression only support can't carry tension. So if your bar intersects to that support, your model can be not so conservative, or simply wrong. So
Perfect. Thank you, Venki. Awesome demo. Before you jump into BIM section, let me just quickly reflect on the concrete section that we just went through. I really like the anchoring idea. StatiCa introduced it more than a year ago. There was a lot of buzz around it. Finally, year after, it is also available with the ACI code that is used here in the GCC. So engineers can start designing anchoring, and they can right away be creative with the designs. So in case they do stepped footing or they design casting plates, as you showcased a while ago, it's available. Then few additional updates that Rose mentioned that will make engineers more precise and efficient. LTV improved results, and the link or export of reinforcements from beam to 2D detail. These will save minutes, maybe hours as well. Okay, Venki, thank you, and carry on with the BIM.
yes, thank you, Anne, for the great summary of these updates. Well, moving on to the bin section, let's see some of the new exciting features which were there in Checkbot. So I'm sure that most of you are aware of the term checkbot. However, I would like to just brief it out. Checkbot is nothing but the intermediary for the idea Statica to receive all the inputs from the third-party applications, like maybe the FEA or the CAD. Okay, so let's see some of the new features in this checkbot, which is BIM. Um, so you can easily navigate in your entire project with the new version of this checkboard, and also you can automatically group the connections. So if you are the connection design engineer, then you know the headache of doing the manual connection grouping, because you have to spend your full concentration or full attention into the structural drawings and group it and transfer the data back into papers or the Excel. So forget about it. Just get the checkbot and do your grouping automatically. And so, and also the status and the color of each node will be highlighted with the different colors to identify the status of that particular node, whether it is designed or whether it's passing or failing or it's to be designed. So you can easily distinguish them based on the color codes, and also the simplified tree of items, which will allow you to easily navigate uh, throughout all the options which were available in the checkbot. And if you are working with the global model to import the information into your checkbot, then you might have a huge number of load combinations, maybe around 200 to 500 or something. So in order to check your connections for that huge number of load combinations will consume a lot of time. So idea Statica checkboard offers a critical load effects option just by switching it on. Idea Statica checkboard will automatically select the critical combinations and exclude which are not so critical, and you can quickly analyze the connection based on this feature. And by this feature, we can design the calc any connection 10 times faster. And so once grouping is done, since I already told you that automatic grouping is done, a grouping contains not only one connection but also a group of connections in which one particular connection is called as a reference connection, which will control the entire group of that connections, which are called as a child connections. In this reference connection group, only the reference connection. If we make any changes in the reference connection, like the model type or the loading member or the project settings, all those information will be reflected in the rest of the connections in the group. So I will show a small demo about this a bit later. And also the bulk operations are possible now in Checkbot. You can extract either the brief report or a full report of all the connections which were there in the checkbot or the selected connections. Just assume, like, if there are 200 connections, you have to open each connection and take the report for each idea StatiCa file and merge them all together to form a document of 200 connections. However, just assume you can do that entire documentation work by combining all the reports of 200 in just one click. Isn't it awesome? So Checkbot can do that with just one click. You can export the report for all the connections in the Checkbot in one go. And yeah, as I told, you can extract in one click. Let's see a practical demonstration about it. Here is a global model from which the model was imported into the checkbot, and the automatic grouping was already done. I can see the group names, group 1, group arrangement 2-1, so and so. So yellow highlighted are the respective connections of this group, and I can change the name of the group since it was related to the base plate. I'm changing the name of the group to footings, in which I can also remove any connections from the group if I need it, and I can rename them as a different group for any reasons if I want to. And also I can see the highlighted members on the right. As I told, the color code yellow are the on the left side. You can see the yellow highlighted nodes where are the of group 29. So this is Perlin connected to the rafter. I can name the group as Perlin to rafter connection, something. I can see the nodes which were in this group. Now I can see a connection which was highlighted, which is a reference connection or the master connection for the whole group. And first, to check the load combinations which were imported for the global model, I can activate the critical load effects. Once I activate, I can see caution saying that critical load effects are on. Now I'll open the reference connection and I will go to the connection library easily to get my connection template, just a few seconds. And I can analyze the connection with the desired. And as I told you, the changes made in the reference connection will be reflected in the child connections. So for reference, modal type was changed here to NVZMY because there is only axial and vertical shear. And also we will try to change the detailing settings to be on so that we can check the detail aspects of this connection. So you can select what are the load cases you want, run the calculation. Once done, we can save it, close it. So on the checkboard, you can see there is a tick mark which says the connection is completed. Once it is completed, I can see a green highlighted cube which says the connection is passed. And if you open the child connection, I can see all the operations were already copied from the master connection. Which means I don't have to model, and all the settings which I have done in the master connection are copied to the child connection as well. And I will close it. I can one click run an entire this Perlin group in one go. And before that, if I switch on this calculate load extremes, this is done automatically by checkbot. So I can see the critical load effects for each node, what is the critical load effect and everything. And on the left side, I can see the waiting symbol, which means the connection is being analyzed. Once analyzed, I can see either the tick mark or the cross mark, which says connection pass or fail. And the critical load effects for each node will be displayed here if the critical load effects were on. And this selection of these critical load effects were entirely automated in the checkboard application. You don't have to deselect and select. As you can see, the selection of critical cases is automatic in the checkboard once the option is selected. And here I can see all the connections are safe, green tick. The last connection is a fail. However, maybe I can export it to other group and give different connections, or it was failing because more load, something. Okay, we will talk about that later. And let's see the report, batch report. We can select all the connection groups for which the report is required. Just go to brief or detailed. In this case, first I will show the brief report. Click on generate, similar to connection application, where you can see all the information about brief information about the connection, whether it's pass or fail and why it's failing. You can see the plate strain 35.6, and you can preview, which will have the same information which we just seen now, and print it. If the detail report you want, you can click on the detail and generate it. The report which was generated from the detailed version is the same report which you will be generating from the connection application. So you can see it's the same report which contains all the information. So generally we will take the report from each file and again we will merge them together. Instead of that, if you work with the checkboard, you can print this bunch of connections in a single PDF file. You don't have to spend a lot of time in working with the documentation work. Checkboard take care of it. In the preview, you can see the information from where you can just print it as a PDF. And that's it from the checkboard. So why to use the checkboard? Uh, Standard connections, we do have as Rose explained before, the connection library is very huge and all the standard connection templates were already there, either as a parametric connection or non-parametric. You can choose the kind of template which suits your project needs and just apply it and analyze it in maybe a couple of minutes and complete your standard connection design. Very fast design. And the complex connection data will be available if you're trying to import from the global model. No need to import various load combinations, and you don't need to spend time on choosing the critical load effects, all this Excel filtering and everything you can avoid with the checkboard, which does work for you automatically. And also, if you make any changes in your global model, then due to the client requirement or anything, you can always synchronize those changes. Let's say the load effects or the section sizes or the geometric arrangements, any modifications in your global model can be automatically synchronized into the checkboard, which will save time for you otherwise. And also the features what I just described are just the starting of it. However, the development still continues. Just hold on for the latest features, which will be coming very, very soon. And we've seen about the FEA import into the checkboard till now. What about the CAD import? So I believe a lot of people will be importing their connection geometry from CAD models like Tekla structures to avoid modeling of complex geometries. So if you are working with Tekla structures to import your models into the checkboard, it's a very good news for you. Now with the base plate, you can also import the anchors and the concrete block from the Tekla structures directly into the checkboard. So as of now, the limitations are only the straight anchors can be imported from Tekla structures to the checkboard. However, the other type of anchors might be available soon. So let's see a practical demonstration on how to import a node from Tekla structures into the checkboard. So this is a single node, not the entire structure. So I will select the one option And I will go back to Tekla, select the node, select the members, and drag and select the operations and middle button. And that's all. Your information about the members, geometry, and the operations are imported into the checkbot. So this is the member arrangement. I can see the connection arrangement where all the wells, bowls, anchors, and everything are imported with the anchors and the concrete as well. So yes, so among the users, if you are into automation, then this is an exciting news for you. The Grasshopper plugin, which was already available, has a latest update, which is version 2. So automate is a broad word, just to briefly point out what it does. You can automate entire connection design workflows, uh, what you do manually, like maybe automatically modeling and generating hundreds of joints in one go, and run them through your custom optimized loop, and take a bunch of reports in one click again, and complete your entire design flow automatically with the flow you define. So let's see the new features in Grasshopper. And so first, how to install it. You can go to the Rhino package manager, go and search for StatiCa Grasshopper, then you will find the link, and within seconds you can install this package and if you're not sure on and all the mm, components which were defined in the Grasshopper are updated in such a way that are closely matching with the latest REST connection API. So most of all the features are available as a components. The best benefit of it was you don't have to code, and as you can see on the top right, all the components are pretty self-explanatory, like save IFC or export IOM or export IFC. It's pretty self-explanatory. If you use that component, then an IFC can be exported and so on. However, if you're still confused with the latest package, uh, you can get once you install the package, you will have a bunch of examples on how to use each and every component which was listed here. So install your package and go to the examples and see how it works, how automation works. Trust me, it's exciting. And also, if you're working with Midas Civil, good news for you as well. So the now checkbot with StatiCa version 25 is linked with Midas Civil. So similar to all FE applications, you can again get your cross sections, materials, and geometry arrangements, as well as the load combinations and the load cases as well. And you can also import not just one node, of course. You can dump your whole structure into the checkbot, which means maybe hundreds or more. Jan, can you please take
Thank
over
you.
the summary?
Wonderful. Thank you, Enki. I can tell that you could speak about the Grasshopper link for hours. However, there was definitely a great update done by StatiCa. The biggest highlight for me is the way how engineers can now save really hours on design and code checks of those everyday connections through the checkbot, the bulk design, then code checking them. It's very easy. You mentioned as well that with the parametric templates that can be applied on them, this is even more powerful combination. Okay, let me take the presenter and I will continue with some remaining updates about cloud and user experience. Am I visible? I am. Thank you. So once you install version 25, you will immediately notice one major improvement, one major change, that is updated launcher application. This is the first thing that opens when you double click on StatiCa icon. Previously, on the left-hand side, now the more enriched launcher application with better visibility of everything, more details, more overview of your e-learning campus progress. So all this is there. A lot of software vendors would take just this update alone and make it the main highlight of the release. And I'm really happy that StatiCa just did it. This is one of the many updates, many new features that they introduce. On top of that, in Launcher, you are notified by some interesting information that are really related to you, to your trial, to your maintenance, or if there are any promotions, which, by the way, there is one promotion right now. So you will find a notification in your version 25. I'll be mentioning the promotion once again in a few minutes later. Exciting update with in the connection application. Previously, when you wanted to share your connection, you had to open the browser application viewer, drop in the file. None of this is necessary anymore. You just click on the button in a connection application and share the viewer link, send it to the detailer, project manager, any other stakeholder who is interested. Really just 2 clicks. Updates in the user portal. This is something that you use only occasionally, but your admin probably use it much more often. So your license admin can now activate or deactivate license users very easily. No need to reach for StatiCa support. Admin can verify new users and reset passwords, again, without StatiCa or GSD support. This is up to the latest security standards, so there is actually no password being sent via emails as it was previously. And very importantly, maybe you experienced that if you used trial sometime in the past, and then you wanted to use commercial license of StatiCa, you might get an error message because your email was associated with that old trial license. So now it can be done seamlessly. Just click of a button and admin can migrate the user from trial license to commercial very quickly. There's also a nice gamification aspect in the user portal that motivates you to interact with StatiCa content and get exciting benefits. One of the benefits that you already have by default, it's access to connection library, to the viewer application. But the more you check StatiCa webinars, the more you progress within campus. So there is high probability that you are up to speed with the latest StatiCa features. You can become a beta tester. So twice per year, you would receive the beta version of StatiCa that you could test before the main release is out. And later, you can even propose the features that you would like to be developed by StatiCa in the next version. This is to many users, I know this is a big dream come true. So just to summarize the cloud and user experience, really, we're thinking also about your license admin. So they can do a lot of activities by themselves without support, few clicks away. And also within the applications, there's the StatiCa saves your mouse button. Okay, before we wrap it up, there is a quick poll. Obviously, we would very much like to know which of the features that we discussed today, or a group of features, did you like the most? Not just liked, but which of them will improve your work the most? So I'm launching the poll. So it's either connection wizard with parametric templates that Rose showcased, or the auto grouping and bulk reporting in Checkbot, or some smaller improvements in detail that will help with your concrete projects, or likewise the improvements in steel, slotted holes, custom cross sections saved in MPRL, or it's something completely else. Okay, we have 60% of the voters, 70 now. Okay, so I'm closing the poll. And sharing the results. So as you can see, more than half of you here on the webinar really see the biggest benefit in the connection wizard, parametric templates, really set it up, get rid of Excel spreadsheets or some simplistic tools if you still use them. And you can really have all connections covered by IDEA StatiCa. Thank you for for voting and letting us know. And I will be wrapping up today's session. All the features that we displayed were updates, feature updates. However, majority of them fit into one of the 6 main use cases where IDEA StatiCa helps structural engineers simplify and speed up their design and analysis. The complex connections, everybody knows IDEA StatiCa for complex connections, it's a flagship. The everyday connections, parametric templates together with the checkbot. This is how the workflow, what is the future of connection design and code checks. Anchoring, one of the very difficult tasks that engineers worldwide, they burn time on this activity. Concrete discontinuities, we didn't discuss them much today, but there are great features in IDEA StatiCa that will help you calculate them, no matter whether you're a Eurocode user or ACI user. Stability issues for steel, and then the way how you can streamline all the data into one seamless workflow. If you implement IDEA StatiCa fully with all or almost all use cases, you can expect significant time saving on your project. A lot of users, they still only use IDEA StatiCa for complex connections and they miss out on a lot. So with really implementing IDEA StatiCa fully, you can save almost quarter of a time on the whole project. Typically with that, you save material on the way kind of automatically. If you want and if you focus on optimization, the material savings can be even more fascinating, drastical, interesting, and you're not compromising safety at all. If you need help with implementing any of these use cases, let us know. There are onboarding training that we're doing regularly every week for everybody who is IDEA StatiCa customer. It's a short session, 2.5 hour online. We're still doing it complimentary in May and June, so feel free to reach out. There's one happening tomorrow, one the week after on Thursday. So again, just let us know via email, as the spots are limited. And then if you need to deepen your knowledge even more, we can have tailor-made advanced workshops, 2 to 4 hours, depending on the topic. It's always hands-on. It's always tailored to you and your users, your colleagues, on-premise or online. These are typically paid. This is just a reminder to everybody. If you have an issue with IDEA StatiCa, first place to go to is a IDEA StatiCa webpage, as there is a lot of resources that will help you on the support center. If you're not successful, you can always reach out to us, to GSD IDEA. Ideally through the user portal, just log in with your credentials, go to cases, check your input your case, and we will reach out back. Almost last slide. There is a special treat from IDEA StatiCa. If you launch your IDEA StatiCa V25, you will now see the orange bar mentioning that your license got unlimited. So for all commercial licenses in the next 3 weeks, starting from Monday, 2 days ago, until Saturday, 31st. You have access to all products that Idea StatiCa has available. No matter what you purchased in the past, you have access to all of them, and your seats got unlimited. So again, if you have 1, 2, 50, 100, 150, 200 seats even, as some of the customers, you have now much more than that. So there's no limitation. So definitely share it with your colleagues. Tell with them how Idea StatiCa can improve their design, their analysis, their work, their life, and take advantage of this fascinating opportunity. In case you are a trial users, you tried Idea StatiCa in the past on some older version, you kind of depleted the 14-day trial. The trial is reset and you can go and try again with version 25 during May only. So go ahead and do it. And that's it. So if you liked what you saw in version 25, just go to Idea StatiCa webpage. On the homepage, there's a navigation. You can download version 25. You can read full release notes. There's much more than what we showed today. And of course, you can see some additional resources, release videos, blog posts, etc., etc. So with that, we're concluding today's session, and officially we're wrapping it up. And if anybody has a question, we will be still staying on this session, and we will be answering. However, we will be doing that. We will be doing that in the written form. So thank you very much, and see you at the next webinar. Take care. Bye-bye.